Hello, everyone. So, today I want to talk about healing with the light. So, recently I was working out in my dad's gym and I did an incline, kind of like a negative incline, so, further back. I was doing crunches kind of like this. I don't know if they're called crunches that way, but I had weight on my chest and I had done this a few days prior and a weight on my chest, and then I felt like there was this very strange feeling in my abs, like they were not ready for the exercise I was about to do because I'd already kind of pushed them to a limit. And in my head, I said, what's the worst that could happen? I got cushion behind me. I'm on like a decline bench. Let me go ahead and do the exercise. And as I went back on this is me, kind of. There we go. As I went back, my head being on this end, um, I had this weight on my chest, and I went back, and I felt this pop, like this very. It's never good when you feel a pop in your body, but I felt it in one of my lower ab muscles, and it just popped, and then I felt this extreme pain, like this. It almost felt like I was stabbed or something like that. And then I crunched up, you know, went off the bench, crunched up, and I was just like holding my stomach, and it was such. It felt like I had broken one of my ab muscles. I think that I hyperextended it, which means that I pushed it too hard, and then it literally like kind of like popped, popped out of place. Popped in a way that it was kind of like one of my ab muscles was like broken basically, and that pain was very severe. um Usually when I'm in pain, I don't like to. It's not even about liking relying on others. I kind of want to experience it alone and deal with it. I don't want anybody else trying to like help me. If I'm experiencing extreme pain, I don't want other people to help me, kind of like feel better at the time. I just kind of like want to experience it and try to make it better if I can. But I've always been that way where like if I'm in pain, I kind of want to do it alone. And I don't know if that's a good, if that's a good thing to do. Whether it be any kind of pain, physical, emotional, spiritual. I don't know if it's a good thing to do to just like want to try to figure it out for yourself and experience it for yourself and even close your eyes and just try to experience it and try to figure out what's wrong. But that's usually my my habit or my go-to is where like I want to experience this by myself, just leave me alone kind of thing. And it did hurt a lot. It's like it felt like I broke one of my ab muscles, because it did pop, and I felt the pop. I'd say I heard it, but I can't exactly remember hearing it, but I felt a pop. And that's the last thing that you want to feel with any one of your muscles. I hyperextended it, basically. And uh, since it was my dad's gym, my parents were around. And they were in the vicinity, and they asked, what happened? Are you okay? What happened? I'm like, just leave me alone. And I'm grasping my stomach, and then I got some ice, put it against my stomach, sat in a chair outside the gym, and I'm holding this ice to my abdomen. Um, my the first I did this immediately, but I also did this, more so a couple minutes later, was to think of Kali Ma, was to kind of call upon her within myself. I say Divine Mother Kali Ma, Divine Mother Kali Ma, Divine Mother Kali Ma, and I'm holding my abdomen, and something within me just like told me to kind of like do this. So what I did was I placed my right hand on my lower left abdomen, very near the waistline. That's very low ab muscle. And I shot my eyes to my third eye, and I started picturing the Divine Mother Kali Ma. And so usually when I eat food, or when I'm consuming, when I'm consuming food, or eating something, then same thing. But I will, while I'm eating, I'll say, either I'll say mentally, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, and I'll be looking to my third eye with my, irises upcast, and I'll be picturing the Divine Mother Kali Ma with the planet in her lap, Hiranyaloka, that I will go to when I die for a time to learn before I come back here. But basically, this very big light being, the Divine Mother Kali Ma, with a planet in her lap. I will picture the planet and her face and her upper torso behind it, and there will be an exchange of light. I will see and feel the light, kind of like coming from her and connect me to her. So as I'm gripping that part of myself, my eyes shot up to my third eye, and I'm picturing this, visualizing it, and eventually words came to mind. Heal this with light. Heal this with light. Heal this with light. So I had my right hand on my lower abdomen, and I was saying this, heal this with light. And it wasn't like I was mouthing the words, but it wasn't completely verbal. I wasn't saying the words, but I was mouthing them. And I noticed that the more that I did this, I started to feel better, stand up, and the pain went down. And when I stopped focusing, the pain would increase. So I kept closing my eyes with my right hand on my lower ab muscle and my left hand out. And I said, heal this with light, heal this with light, heal this with light, in my head. And I was mouthing it a lot of the time. And then I was eventually standing up, and it got better and better and better. And at one point, I went to the forest behind my dad's gym, and I was standing and holding my abdomen, and I had my hand directed towards the forest. I don't know why I did this, but it actually did help. And I was saying, with my mouth, but mainly in my head, heal this with light, heal this with light, heal this with light, heal this with light. And I had my hand directed towards the forest, and it felt like I was dragging in life energy to aid me in healing. But it also, a large part of this process was, since I kind of offer food while I'm eating it to the Divine Mother Kali Ma, it felt like I was getting something back from that same exchange. So we have, two areas from nature and from, usually what I offer to, two lines of energy as I grip my abdomen and healing it. So much so that in the forest behind my dad's gym, I was mouthing the words, heal this with light, heal this with light, heal this with light. And I was standing up, and I opened my eyes, and my mother's off to the side looking at me, very concerned, confused. Apparently she was trying to talk to me or something like that. And what I said was, I believe what I said was, what I'm doing is working, but you're getting in the way. Just please let me be, let me heal myself. And of course she went off. And stood there, walked a few paces, had my left hand out to nature and my right hand on my abdomen, and was just saying, mouthing it, but mainly saying it inwardly, heal this with light, heal this with light, heal this with light. And the injury quickly got better in a way that it really shouldn't have. And there was a couple times when I stopped that it got worse, but then I started again and it got better. So this is kind of a conversation about healing with light, but I didn't conceive of this ability beforehand, nor did I think that I could do this. It was just an instinct. And whenever I'm in extreme pain of any kind, my mind immediately goes to Kali Ma and calling upon her. And as far as healing my abdomen muscle, I was afraid that I actually had a hernia. Like my intestine kind of like plunged through the wall of my stomach. Is that what a hernia is? Anyway, I felt like I had a hernia, and I was kind of afraid that I would have to get surgery because it hurt very bad. But as I went through this process saying, heal with the light, heal with the light, heal with the light, and I felt this light coming through me, it got better and better and better. And this was a strange experience because this isn't something that I thought I could do or could be done. But it was my instinct to jump to that technique of holding my abdomen with my right hand and holding out my left hand and saying, heal with the light, and directing my sight towards my third eye and trying to drag down some of the light that I had either offered in the past or dragged down the light that was granted to me by the Divine Mother Kali Ma. Sometimes instinct can be spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. In this case, I think it was a combination of all these things. And I was calling down energy that I was very much connected to. And I felt like it made my injury much better. And, many days later now, it's not a serious injury, but I think that it might have been if I didn't use this technique or if I didn't happen upon it by just spiritual instinct. Healing with the light, it might not always be, doctrinal, might not always be something that you read about beforehand and use. Sometimes we have spiritual instincts. And perhaps healing with light is instinctual for us human beings or a number of other, beings. Perhaps we have this natural connection to the light within ourselves that draws from a much grander source. Perhaps. I'm not sure about perhaps. At any rate, this has been a video about healing with the light. I hope this was interesting. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot them down in the comment section below on YouTube. And I'm more than willing to talk to anybody that's polite to me and comment back. If you hit that like button down there on YouTube, it really helps out the channel, helps the traffic, and helps any information that I'm giving out get to other people. So please hit that like button. If you like this content, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. And everyone, have a wonderful day. Consider the light within yourself and connect to that light within yourself. And never allow yourself to fall by the wayside. And always move forward.